Hello and welcome to Agapé Kids Broadcast. We hope you had an amazing week and thank you so much for joining us. We absolutely missed you. But first, I think we should pray. Dear Daddy God, thank you for an amazing week. Thank you for protecting our mommies and our daddies and all our friends. Open our hearts that we may hear, open our ears that we may listen to you, and let your words shine through. Amen!
This week's theme is God is Eternal.
Revelations 1 verse 8. I am the Alpha and Omega, the one who is, the one who was, and the one who is coming.
Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome back to this week's activity. For today, we are going to be making a clock. The reason why we're making a clock is to remind us that God is eternal. Our clock will look like this once we are done. So firstly, what you're going to need is paint, a paper plate, plain white paper, color paper, a permanent marker, pencil and glue. So firstly, what you are going to do is you have to paint your paper plate. As you can see, I have already painted mine to get dry. So once you are done painting your paper plate, we are going to start by making circles. You have to use something small like this to make your circles. And then you're going to do it on your plain piece of white paper. And you have to make 12 small circles. Okay, boys and girls, now that we are done drawing our circles, we are going to write numbers inside the circles from 1 to 12. So the numbers will look like this. Okay, so you can take your permanent marker and start writing your numbers. Okay, so we are done writing our numbers. Now we're going to cut out the little circles. If you don't know how to use a scissor, ask your mom or dad or your brother and sister. Okay, boys and girls, now that we are done cutting out our numbers, we are going to paste it in the circle just like on this one. We are going to start by the number 12 and put it in the center. You will see your paper plate has circles in the center, so we're going to paste the numbers on the outside circle. Okay, so start by your number 12 and add some glue on it. Now that our numbers are pasted, we are going to make the eyes that has to go in the center. So you're going to take your piece of white paper. You're going to get something that can draw a bigger circle than the previous ones. Something like this. You can use anything that you have at home. Okay, and we're going to trace the circle with our pencil. 2 circles. Now that we are done drawing our eyes, we're going to take our Cheque pen and go over the pencil. And we're also going to color it. You can color it with color pencils or you can use Cheques like I'm going to be using. Okay, now that we're done the outside of our eyes, we're going to leave the center white and the bottom circle we're going to make green or blue or any color that you want the eyes to be. It can also be brown. Okay, now that we are done drawing our eyes, we're going to cut it out and paste it. Okay, now that our eyes are done, we are going to paste it right there. One here and one there. So now we're going to make the hands of the clock. Firstly, what you need to do is you're going to fold your A4 color paper in half, and then we're going to draw the hands of the clock. If you don't know what's the hands of the clock, it looks like this. Don't worry, I also didn't know. Make sure that you fold it properly in the center. You're going to need a ruler to draw it perfectly. So it has to look like kind of a diamond. That's the best way I can describe it. And not too big so that it can fit on the clock. There we go. Now we're going to cut it out. I'm sure your hands are tired because we have been cutting a lot. Now we have 2 hands of the clock. We're going to cut the one smaller. It's quite easy. You just do that, and the same on the other side. Okay? Now you have to focus. You see, you're going to fold this inside, and then you're going to turn it around like that. Now that this part is done, before we paste it, we are going to make the thing that has to go in the center of the hands. You can just take another piece of color paper, or you can draw your own and color it any which way that suits you. Here we go. Now we're going to paste it in the center of our hands. Of the clock's hands, not our hands. There we go. Now we're going to paste the clock's hands in the center of the clock. You're just going to put a little bit of glue right there. There we go. And now for the mouth. The mouth is quite easy. You just draw a smiley face like that. Okay, and now we can cut it out. Now that we have our smiley face, we are going to paste it in the center of the clock. And this is how our clock looks once we are done. Before we end, I want to ask you a question. Do you know what does eternal mean? It means that there's no beginning and no end to something. This means that God has always lived. So let's say the memory verse together one last time. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Revelation 1 verse 8. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the one who is, who was and is to come. Thank you for joining in for today's activity. See you again next week. Bye.
Revelations 1 verse 8. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the one who is and was and is coming.
In the beginning, before anything existed, God was already there. Then God created the heavens and the earth. The earth did not really have a shape yet. The earth did not have anything on it yet. Everything was covered with darkness, and the Spirit of God was moving over the top of the waters. Then God spoke, and he said, "Let there be light." And suddenly there was light. God looked at the light and said, "The light is good." And God decided to separate the light and the dark. He called the light day, and he called the dark night. Then he waited for the next day. The next day, God said, "Let the waters separate, and let there be water in the sky, and let there be water on the earth." And so it happened. God called the water in the air sky. Then he waited for the next day. The next day, God said, "Let all the water on the earth come together, and let dry land appear on the earth." And so it happened. God called the dry land earth, and he called the water seas. God looked at all of it and said, "I like this. It is good." Then God said, "Let lots of plants grow on the earth. Let there be fruits and vegetables, and let the plants make seeds that can grow into new plants. And so it happened. Trees and flowers, fruits and vegetables, and grass and bushes all grew on the earth. Then God looked at it and said, "This looks so pretty. I like it. It is good." The next day, which was day number 4, God said, "Let there be sun and a moon. Let the sun give light in the daytime, and let the moon shine light in the nighttime. Let there also be beautiful stars." And so it happened. God looked at all of it and said, "This is beautiful. I like it. It is good." On day number 5, God said, "Let all the water have fish swimming around in them. Let the sky have birds flying around in it." And so it happened. God made all kinds of birds and fish, each one very special. There were whales and sharks and dolphins and tuna. There were chickens and crows and doves and pelicans. God looked at it and said, "I like fish and birds. They are good." Day number 6 came next. God said, "Let there also be animals all over the earth." And so it happened. God made cows and dogs and sheep and leopards. He made spiders and grasshoppers and ants and worms. Then God looked at all of it and said, "I like animals. Animals are good." But God wasn't finished yet. In fact, He was about to make something that He was super excited about. Something that He'd been planning to make for a long, long time. God wanted to make someone He could be friends with, someone He could talk to and love and care for. God decided to make people. So on day number 6, God said to Jesus and to Holy Spirit, "Let's make people. Let them be like us. Let them talk and have fun and love. Let them dance and let them sing. Let them tell jokes and let them play. Let them be our very special friends. And let them take care of this earth that we have made." And so it happened. God made Adam and Eve and said to them, "I bless you. Take care of the earth and of each other. Have children and grandchildren. Rule over this earth and all the animals and fish and birds and bugs." Then God looked at everything He made and He said, "This is beautiful. I really, really like it. It is very good." The next day, God rested from all of His work. He made a new universe and He really liked it. And He was excited that His wonderful dream was finally coming true.
Revelation 1 verse 8. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the one who is, and the one who was, and the one who is coming.
In Revelation 1 verse 8, Jesus said, "I am the Alpha and the Omega, the one who is, who was, and is coming."
But Armand, we're also learning that verse. But what does Alpha and Omega means?
Alpha and Omega are the first letter and the last letter of the Greek alphabet. When Jesus was speaking, He was speaking Greek, so He used the Greek alphabet. If Jesus was to say those words in today's time, He would say, "I am the A and the Z."
So Jesus would know the alphabet.
Jesus would know the alphabet. So, what does it mean when someone says, I am the A and the Z?
I don't know. The what, Armand?
When someone says they are the A and the Z, it means they are the beginning and the ending of everything. Because A and Z are the beginning and the ending of the alphabet.
Oh, that's so true and clever.
Very. So when Jesus was saying he is the A and the Z, he was saying he is at the beginning of everything and at the end of everything.
So Armand, does that mean he's there all the time?
Exactly. That's exactly what it means. Let me show you something. It's like this rope. You see, this rope has a beginning and an ending.
Yeah.
Let's say this rope is our life. Jesus was saying that God is at the beginning of our life and the end. But sometimes there's stuff that happens in between, difficult things, like a knot in the rope. Do you see the knot?
Oh, I see the knot.
But because God is the beginning and the ending of it, He is in control and He can sort out those things for us.
Wow.
Amazing, isn't it?
That's awesome.
Do you think we should say the verse together one more time?
Yes, please. Just tell me one more time.
The verse is Revelation 1 verse 8. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the one who is, who was, and is coming.
Boys and girls, today we have learned that God is eternal. You still remember what it means that He is eternal? It means that God has always existed and always will. In our Bible story, we heard that God is the one who created the heaven and earth and everything on it. And then Armand showed us in our object lesson of what our Bible verse means. You still remember that? Revelation 1 verse 8. God is the Alpha, the beginning, and the Omega, the end, the one who is with us at this very moment, who was when it was the creation and even the time before us, and the one who is coming to fetch His children to live with Him forever and ever. We hope that today's lesson will help you in the future to remember God has always been there, He will always be there, and you can just trust Him. Until next time.
I am the princess of La La Land. Boys and girls, thank you for joining us for this week's episode. Until next time, keep calm and have fun.